Hi, I'm Jack Slocum with Option Alpha. Today we're going to be creating another bot. I'm going to go step by step in how I create it. This here is the strategy we're going to be using. We're going to go through a tool here called the screener, and we're going to select out the most liquid tickers, and then we're going to go over here into trade ideas, and we're going to apply a bunch of filters to find some trades with a positive expected value that are within those tickers. And then we're going to use this button right here to generate a bot that automatically scans all day long, waiting for those opportunities to become available and opens them. We're going to set up some exit options then that automatically close those positions when my profit target is hit. So before we do all that, let's jump on over here into my bots so you can see how they've been doing. It's been a couple weeks since I made a video. This Trade Ideas bot right here has been making a comeback of late. Has a couple positions open. We'll see how those go over the course of the next week or two. YFly has also been making a bit of a comeback since its low point here at $398 of P&L. It's now up to $3,658. There's links to all of these bots in the description, and they are available in the Option Alpha community, so make sure you check that out. The bot we created in the last video, which was specifically for taking advantage of when VIX is above 25. Made 3 trades, 3 positions, and won all 3. This bot also is in the community now. All right, so let's jump on over and create the new bot we're going to be making today. So the first thing we're going to be doing is creating a list of highly liquid symbols. So I have this pre-filtered here, but basically what I've selected is to only include trade ideas symbols since we're going to be trading using trade ideas. The next filter I applied was excluding these 15 symbols. These are all very correlated market-related symbols that I have other 0DTE bots that are already trading, or some of these other ones are the ones that my auto ETFs bot here is also trading, so I don't want to duplicate what I already have running. And the last thing I've done here is I filtered by liquidity. And if you look, I've selected 3 or higher. So these are very liquid symbols that I've selected. And if you look down here, you can see what it's actually filtering by are these liquidity stats that we generate based on all of the live trades of the people who are using the Option Alpha platform. So what we do is we analyze those trades and see how wide was the bid-ask spread when those trades were placed, and then where did it fill along that bid-ask spread. And from that, we can calculate the scalp each number that you see there on the bottom right. And what that's telling us is how much for each contract on average are the market makers scalping as their profits based on the slippage from the fair market mid price. And so symbols that are highly liquid include less of a scalp value from the market makers on each individual trade, which can only long-term increase our profitability trading these particular symbols. Now let's take these symbols and figure out how can we actually use these very liquid symbols and find options trades automatically in these symbols. So the first thing I'm going to click here is to copy this list of symbols, and you can see 50 symbols were copied to my clipboard. And now I'm going to jump on over here into trade ideas. If you don't know what trade ideas is, this is technology we've developed that analyzes the options chains for lots of different symbols on the stock market, looking for opportunities that have an edge. So we're going to specifically be looking for trades that have a positive expected value long term and trades that have a positive NVRP. NVRP is something new we added to the platform. Basically what it is it's comparing the historical volatility of the stock with the current implied volatility that's priced into the options. And if the value that's priced into the options is much higher than it actually has moved historically, that's conceived to be an edge specifically for people who are selling options. Okay, so let's go ahead and use those symbols we have in our clipboard. The first thing I'm going to do is click here. I'm going to click New Watch List, and I'm going to call it Liquid Equities. I'm going to paste in my 50 symbols. I'm going to save that, and now I have this new watch list here selected for my liquid equities I just created. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my days to expiration between 7 and let's say 21 days. So sometime in the next 3 weeks I want the position to expire. The next thing I'm going to select is a probability of max profit of 50% or higher. And the reason why I'm selecting the probability of max profit of 50% or higher is because I only want to trade trades where I have a greater than 50% chance of winning all the money, of course. The next thing I'm going to select is an EV per contract of greater than $5. So I just want it to have a positive expected value trading it long term. The next thing I'm going to select is an NVRP percent of 10% or more. Now that I've applied these filters, Each of the trades in this list, hypothetically, is a good trade, specifically because it has a positive expected value if I trade it long term, and the current implied volatility is pricing in more volatility than actually happens in that particular ticker in the past. Now, that doesn't mean every trade I make is going to be profitable, but it does give me confidence that if I trade these positions long term, it's going to turn out well. The next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bot that automatically opens these positions when they become available. So I'm going to click this auto trade button. All right, so let's give this guy a name. I'm going to go with Liquid Equities again for lack of a creative name. I'm going to give it $2,500. I am going to select my live trading Tradier account. See, the symbols here are set to the watch list that we just set up, and I'm going to make one other edit to that in just a moment. I'm going to set my position size for these trades to, let's say, $500 per position. The next thing I'm going to set is the pricing here. I am going to use just normal smart pricing, and I'm going to allow it to go up to 200% of the typical slippage for these symbols. And because these symbols are highly liquid, and I know that, I can trust that even if the bid-ask spread is really wide, this value is still going to result in somewhere that's close to the mid price. So there we go. And I'm also going to set my exit options to take profit at 50% of the credit I receive, and I'm going to set it to do that as quickly as possible. I do want it to wait at least 1 day to avoid pattern day trading. And it looks like that's it. All right, so we set our exit options. Everything is ready to go. I also only want it to open one position per symbol. There we go, that's already selected. And I only want it to open up to 2 new positions per day. Let me check the rest of these. Yeah, I don't want to trade over FOMC either. All right, EV is set to $5 or higher. Probability of max profit greater than 50%. MVRP at least 10%. All right, we look good. We're going to create this bot. Let's go to the bot settings. Now, the one other thing I'm going to do here real quick is I'm going to click to edit the watch list, and I'm going to set it to actually sort this random. And what that means is out of those 50 symbols that we selected, over the course of the day, it's going to randomize them over and over, and it'll scan different ones because it can only scan 10 within each 1 minute interval. So it'll switch which 10 throughout the day and ultimately end up scanning all 50 of them throughout the day. And then I'm also going to automatically eliminate ones where the bot already has a symbol open with them, and anyone who is reporting earnings, let's say in the next 20 days. Looking good. All right. I'm going to have it scan once per minute, and automations are officially turned on. Okay, let me go ahead and give this one an icon. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a cross for my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I'm going to make it purple so it stands out within my list. All right, one other thing I want to set here is I'm going to set the maximum positions that it can open at one time to 4. And there we go. So that's it. I've added a new bot to my army here. I will share a link to this bot in the description for this video, as well as all the other bots that you see here that are doing well. So that's it. On behalf of the Option Alpha team, we love you guys, and God bless.